All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, let's check it out.
Under the cloak of darkness in Chicago,
Attack one, guys.
an immigration and customs enforcement team gears up for another long day, pursuing undocumented immigrants who have been convicted of crimes in the U.S. ICE agents mistakenly arrest the target's brother.
In the process of talking to him in the vehicle, he then said, "Oh, no, I'm actually so-and-so. Who you're looking for is over here, this other address." He led us to that address, and we were able to actually arrest the individual.
Do you have evidence, right, that he's using a fake identity, or?
That is correct. We believe he's been using a U.S. citizen's identity to live and work. He has an Illinois driver's license. Third target, he has an unauthorized use of a weapon, which was a firearm. He has a couple DUIs. He is a
And this is
criminal.
CNN
He has
covered?
extensive criminal history, and by taking him out of the community, it's making the community safer.
CNN covered,
ICE's
ICE.
purpose is to
Wait,
focus
what?
on criminals and community safety by taking these recidivist criminals out of our communities.
Well, I figured. Okay. I mean, of course, you have to understand this here, right? I mean, this was like way before like the advent of like social media in how it is right now, right? And there was a lot less groupthink, I would say, specifically back then, back in the day at least, right? So yeah, I can imagine how they were doing this, but also at the same time, the golden child specifically was in office, right? And anything he did was considered just and fair towards the American people. And now the fact that the big bad guy is in office, of course they're going to do this here. I mean, we can go back and listen to some of the like Hillary Clinton or even Chuck Schumer type conversations, about ICE and or other, dictators around the world, let's just say this year. Yeah, things have changed. In fact, like they once were moderately, I guess, fairer, let's say this year, than they are today, because they just do not like Trump, because the overall base of the left, in fact, just hates Trump plainly. Like like they hear his name and they basically, go into a seizure. Oh, covert. That's weird. I thought they had to be, blasted all over the internet from where they are. Right? I thought that was like the default. You see an ICE agent, take a photo of him and show the whole world exactly where he is at all times of the day. It's such a weird thing how this is shifted. Bro, CNN is actually going super hard on ICE, bro. All right. And I mean, I can't imagine this happening today. This definitely seems like only Fox is basically talking like this, basically. So what has happened? There's going to be a whole lot of contradictions all over the place, guys. And that right there is how you lose credibility, right there, guys, right there. Yep.
In Minneapolis. I've got this statement from the Department of Homeland Security in the United States. They've just provided an update on social media about what's going on the ground in Minneapolis. I'll read it to you. They say at 6:50 local time, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of what they're calling an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country, they say, by Joe Biden. In an attempt to evade arrest, the Department of Homeland Security says the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. Homeland Security says the law enforcement officer caught up with the subject on foot and attempted to apprehend
get off the ground.
him when he began to resist and violently assault the officer. They say that then resulted into a struggle on the ground.
Why are you here?
Two subjects came out from a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and a broom handle. This is part of the lengthy statement from the Department of Homeland Security. They say as the officer was being ambushed and attacked by two individuals, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. They say fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by the individuals, the officer fired defensive shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. So that is what has triggered the scenes you are seeing right now on.
So what should have happened? Should he have just stood there being pummeled by some absolute social deviants until he was basically put to sleep? Or should he have, been able to basically defend himself from these absolute social deviants? Like, which one is it here? I don't see how this is ever going to get better, bro. I'm just going to be honest.
Your screens in the streets of Minneapolis. Now, to put this in context, we are
everyone is
just
radicalized.
1 week on from the shooting of 37-year-old Renee Good. That has triggered intense emotion and division in the United States between those who believe ICE agents acted recklessly or went too far in the actions they took against this US citizen, and what we've heard in the comments from the US president, members of his administration who claim that the officer was acting in self-defense when he shot the woman through the car windscreen, shooting her dead. This situation, though, a separate incident, as I've been referring to this statement from the Department of Homeland Security, describing what they say are the events that have unfolded tonight there on the ground that led to one of the federal officers shooting this man, hitting him in the leg. At this stage, the attacked officer and the subject are both in hospital. So that's the lay of the land at the moment in the United States. You can see federal officers there. We've seen canisters of smoke exploding at certain times here as federal authorities try and get a handle on the situation on the ground. This is continuing to develop as we head into 2 p.m. here, Australian Eastern Daylight Time.
Okay. All right. So that definitely sounds like a brand new story. I have not heard that one yet, but am I surprised by it? Not really. I mean, listen, have you ever tried to hold something up to a cop in a threatening manner? I'm sure these videos have been shown all around the internet, probably all around the world here. Let's not approach cops with things in your hand, specifically attempting to pummel them for some reason. Again, they are just there doing their jobs, right? Like, I mean, they would not be there in that capacity if they did not have their badge and their gun, if that makes any sense here, right? So they are in fact working. And who deserves, for the most part here, to be absolutely battered, let's say, well, during, I don't know, in the course of their work day. I don't know, a little weird, guys. I mean, the arguments that we're having right now are nonsensical, okay? The fact that CNN also understood what was right and just at the time, and now somehow the truth is no longer the truth, right? But now we're living in some like ridiculous clown world ran by like some random Gen Zers on TikTok, right? This is where we are, right? Like, are things going to get better? No, I hope so, right? But how, right? You have to hurt a lot of people's feelings, right? I would suspect you probably have to hurt a lot of people's feelings to tell them, hey, listen, guys, I'm sorry. The last 20 years was a joke. We actually don't care. Like, do that type of thing, right? And then you'll start to realize immediately how maybe potentially people will stop acting like this in public. Just a thought, my opinion, obviously. Right? But this is just going to get worse as long as Tim Walz and like everyone else basically is out here doing all this stupid, crazy type of talk, right? I mean, if you know that these people are super emotional, why would you make them even more emotional? Why? Like, why would you add more, right, to get them feeling a certain way so they go out and act like absolute idiots here, disregarding, like, legitimately the logic of the scenario? What would have happened if the cop lost their life? What would have happened? Seriously, what would have happened? You know, like I know, they would have been, again, dancing in this spot where this man expired for TikTok, laughing, making jokes all around the internet. We already know this is what it is here. Because every time a cop, loses their existence, this is basically what happens. You think it's going to be any different with these people here, bro? No. They look at anyone who doesn't think like them as the literal enemy. So, yeah. And who knows, guys, we may actually run into some like ICE agents that have not been specifically radicalized to immediately hate those people that are out here protesting. You may, right, run into someone who's a left-leaning ICE agent. They just needed a job. You never know someone's situation, why they're working a specific job. So you can't just paint the brush. But I will say, though, that left-leaning person working for ICE is probably going to shift pretty fast when they start to realize the holes, right, in the emotional story that you're being told, guys. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.